Happy New Year. Hope you're having a great year so far.
Well, maybe this year we might be able to get this podcast going. One day maybe we'll be able to just start it up and get going and make it happen without any glitches. Right now my stupid thing is glitching and I hope it doesn't totally look stupid on the episode. So, but anyway, hope everybody had a great holiday, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. And hopefully 2026 will be a much happier new year for those who didn't have a good 2025. So, anyway, so this is going to be part 2 of the episode we did a couple weeks ago because we took a little break here. So, on the last episode, we did talk about AmFest and covered a little bit of stuff from the Fort Huachuca information that was gathered from Candace. And anyway, but if you're curious about all that, you can go to part 1. Anyway, so this episode was going to be to follow up on the exploding mic theory on Charlie Kirk. But first, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Rainey.
And I'm Ray.
Yay!
We're Rainey and Ray.
That's who we are today. I'm a poet and I know it. No, anyway. Anyway, so yeah, we're starting off a new year with new format to our podcast. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway. So all right, so I was watching Trigger Smart podcast and he had a guest on there named John Bray. And he is a scientist and he was breaking down the whole exploding mic theory. And it really made a whole lot of sense. And I am starting to lean more towards that theory because after seeing several videos and just how everything, like his shirt, the way it popped up, the way the magnet piece was on his shirt and how it went up, and coincidentally right where the entry
Yeah.
So it was either, it probably could have went in somewhere else, but it or exited here. Either way, just crazy stuff that was seen. And then plus on episodes way back in the beginning, right after all this happened, Candace had gotten a hold of Terrell Farnsworth, who was the media guy who took down the camera behind Charlie, basically, uh, breaking into the crime scene, stepped on the chair that Charlie was sitting on, climbed up and got the camera down to take out the SD cards. And so Terrell had took out the SD cards from the camera and stated that he was turning them over to the FBI, blah, blah, blah. Well, anyways, Candace did get him to show her the video footage, and she then said there was no blood from behind, blah, blah, blah. We didn't see the video or the footage at that time. Well, a couple episodes ago, like this week, she did show some still shots of the video footage from behind, and there was no blood, which is really, really strange. So everything just kind of sounds weird to me. But anyway, so Brian Harple, when he was on, gosh, I can't think of the guy's name. He was on a podcast and he was talking about how he had ran over and started stuffing gauze into the wound and was trying, but everything happened so darn fast. On the video footage, when everybody started reacting and ran over there, grabbed him, but first they were, like, passing all this stuff around, like, they were picking things up, passing it around, those people would take off, and boom, what were they getting? And so when Brian Harple was asked, "What was it that that was handed to you or whatever," he was saying, "Oh, it's just a photographer girl. She just walks around and hands everybody mints. She's really good about that, blah, blah, blah." Well, I think that's bull crap. I don't think it was mints. And I did see a video where she did walk up to Brian Harple, handed him something, and put it in his pocket. Well, when the sound goes off for the shot, Brian Harple was standing over. He was wearing a blue shirt, and this was, like, in the beginning where people were questioning, "Oh, maybe he's the guy that did it," because the way his hands were, like, you could see, like, it was, like, right there, and
Yeah.
then so either he had something, maybe he had a trigger or something that or a remote, whatever, I don't know. Possibilities, I'm just saying. But then there was the other guy, um oh, what was his name? I think his name's Rick something, and he was wearing the brown shirt, and he was directly in front of Charlie, and then he was the one that was touching his sleeve or went like this, and it looks like at the same time that the sound went off, boom, and then, you know, so maybe he had something, and then there was, like, a little bit of space in between, like, the barrier or whatever where you could see, like, you could see something like that he had in his hand.
Like
I don't know.
between tarps leaning over the railing.
Yeah. Did I send you the video?
I did see that video and I watched it several times and I tried to like download it to analyze it, and it said I needed to turn on messengers to share or something, and I had messengers on, so I don't know what that was. It just wouldn't let me. But I watched it. I watched it several times.
Yeah, so there was just so many weird things that was just, like, the timing of everything, when, Dan Flood, the security guy in the black shirt that was standing on his right side, um, when he did, like, the arm thing or whatever, and then there was Frank Turek, who was the pastor, in the white shirt that supposedly was, um, live, doing a FaceTime live with his son during the whole thing, which I don't know about that either. Because even on some of the images that you could see where his phone was, unless he has some kind of, like, a screen on there where you can't see, there was, like, nothing on
Right.
that screen, you know what I mean? Like, he was just holding up his phone or whatever, but, he did the little thing with his hat, and all this stuff happened, like, boom, 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 and then bam, the shot goes off, right?
Right.
Whatever it was. I mean, even with the mic, the other mic being there, the handheld mic, if that thing exploded right here, it still would have made, I think, a sound into the other mic, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It would have been loud, and that's, I think, what probably went over the speakers, the sound system, you know? Maybe that's what people heard. I don't know. I think the whole, um, Tyler thing is probably just a made up thing. I mean, you do see somebody run and get off the roof, but it did not look like he had a gun on him at the time that he was getting off the roof. You know what I mean? Like it would have been like he would have had to throw it off or whatever and then pick it up. I didn't see anything like that. And I
Right. And
don't.
also the get on the roof, put the rifle together, take the rifle apart after, jump down, go back together in the woods. Like what?
Yeah, none of that makes any sense at all. And the whole theory behind it all, like even like, oh, he was a furry or he had a boyfriend, his roommate was his boyfriend. whatever. And then ironically, the guy up there asking the question just happens to ask a question
Oh,
about transgender,
right. Yes.
you know? So I think it was all just a weird setup. And and then I learned on the episode yesterday on Candace that he was supposed to speak in Colorado um, the next day, and there was no security set up for that event. And so when that whatever I think whatever college or wherever it was at, the cops were like, "Man, why was there no security set up for this event?" Blah blah blah. Well, anyway, so they ended up just doing a candlelight vigil for him, and instead of the in place of what the event would have been, and
Right.
then they had security put in place for that event because of, or, so yeah, all this stuff is just kind of like crazy.
So
Ugh.
I have something the recent events yesterday, I believe or maybe it was the day before, where the ICE agitator lady got shot and killed by the ICE agent.
Oh,
And so when you're just looking at the reviews of people who are watching the videos, and some people are completely upset, like they killed her. Other people are like, oh, it was justified. It was self-defense. So when you look at the video and you make your own conclusion, you can stop when you look at the video and you just say, wow, he just shot her for no reason. And then you look at all the other angles and you look at her tires spinning on the ice, where her wheels were, thinking of maybe like in his head, we're in the back, the view's in the back. He couldn't see exactly her wheels were spinning or turning or whatever. You're just seeing that direct threat. But it's interesting, the saying, don't believe your lying eyes. It's not just your lying eyes, it's the lying voices. Like they are, it seems like the left immediately goes to, she was just murdered. Now our government's murdering us. And the right goes, I looked at the video. She was going to crash into him. She was agitating the whole day, and it was justified. So there's these two extremes. And so I think I used to be on one side, went to the other side. Now I'm kind of in the middle again, going at, like,
yeah.
just take a look. So when I look at the Charlie Kirk thing, you believe your lying eyes, and then you believe their lying voices. But when people hear this over and over and over, you start to say, no, I don't want to believe that. I'm going to look into this. And so the things that you're saying, like, yes, why does everyone seem to be signaling, doing something, fidget? It's like, okay, I understand, like your nose itches or whatever, but they seem like almost like football coaches calling plays.
Mhm.
So, and then you can look around the crowd and you're like, oh, that person this and that. But also, I looked at the guy who was doing the arm gestures and had something between the tarp. Could have been a phone in his hand that he was lifting up, and it's just like coincidence. But I watched, and I could only see half his face in the video. And I didn't go back to look at other videos, but I watched the crowd's faces reacting. It took a little bit for them to react. I think by the time sound goes to your ears and goes into your brain, and it's something that you don't expect, I think it takes a little bit longer to understand what's going on. But they seem to all react eventually, and he didn't. So again, like, what is
None
that?
of them did. None of them reacted at all.
No.
None of them seemed shocked. And like Mikey, I mean, the amazing, wonderful, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious Mikey McCoy. Um, he was standing over there by the sound booth or whatever, and he had his phone up to his ear. And as soon as the shot goes off, he just walks casually off into the sunset. And then there was video footage I seen later on where he was just like walking way, 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 way off. Like he wasn't even near anything. Like he just left. Like didn't even stop, look to see what happened. He never was even looking at Charlie. As soon as that happened, he just walked off with his phone and
Right.
supposedly was calling Erica or his dad and,
But
and then
he didn't even, it was just literally like shot, turn, walk away. He wasn't
yeah,
even. So how did you make those phone calls and even assess what happened when you
like,
literally?
oh, he's been shot. How do
Yeah,
you know? You
I
know,
know.
you weren't even there to see what had happened, really. And
Or
then
if he was going to
Terrell,
be okay, or what was going to happen. It just seemed very like, oh,
yeah, and then the Terrell Farnsworth, the media guy, he
mhm.
just kind of goes off and then ends up on the side of the building and then is doing a phone call or a live stream, I guess. Yeah, because the that's what we're seeing. And he's like, Charlie's dead,
Yeah.
and it's like, how do you know? How do you know? You weren't there.
And what is your first reaction to film? Like, I am not even a friend, family, coworker with Charlie. And I immediately, my hand went to my mouth and I just started crying and like, no, 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 no. Like, yeah, I know everyone reacts different to trauma, but I wouldn't just be like, oh, let me get up my phone and start recording this and do a live.
I think people have become so desensitized in a lot of ways since COVID or whatever. But I think nothing surprises anybody anymore, and everybody wants to record everything. That's the first thing I think of, and it's like, you know what? There's so many things that I wish I had recorded, and I never even think to record them, and I'm
Mhm.
like, "Oh,
Mhm.
man, I wish I would've done that, blah, blah, blah," but I didn't, and it's like, that's the last thing I think of. It's like and I'll have my phone right in my hand, and it's like and that's the last thing that comes to my mind is to record something, but
The
that's
only time I did record something and I was really happy was I was leaving the store and this guy kind of pushed past me and he had this whole cart full of stuff and the employees were all yelling at him because apparently he was stealing it. So they were like, oh my God, get it, he's stealing, blah, blah. And then I just kept walking. Like, I'm not going to fight him. I'm not going to try to get his stuff. But I'm walking in my car and he was kind of parked by me. So I just took out my phone and started recording him, putting the stuff in his car, took a picture of his license plate, and I just walked back in and all the employees are like huddled around, all frazzled, and the security was there. And I was like, oh, here's this plate number. Here's this car. Him loading the car. And they were like, oh my gosh, thank you. But
yeah.
I wasn't in danger. I didn't see someone killed. I was just like, and I was still nervous, but
Well, smart thinking, that's the way things should be done, you know? When you see something, get the vital information that people need for reporting something, you know?
yeah, these
But
seem set up though. It's like, oh, okay, so Charlie just got shot and they're gonna take him to the car. So I'm gonna go up on this little hill and record everybody and do a live. That
mhm.
seems really set up.
And then once they're gone, I'm gonna go over there and take everything down to get the SD card so nobody can see what really happened.
Right. And I'm not gonna be in shock and I'm not gonna sit and I'm not gonna throw up or cry or be shocked. I don't know. We're just gonna go like normal. Do do do.
Mhm. Yeah. That's all. I don't even know.
So I want to
Uh,
tell you that I watch all the videos that you send me and I try to analyze and then I go back and try to counteract or look up what you're talking about or what they're talking about. And then I put into AI like the video and say, what do you think? What's your thoughts? And then it goes on this, oh, conspiracy theorist, this is floating around X or whatever. And it's, right wing or it'll do left wing, whatever it says. But then I put in, if you didn't trust the government and you didn't trust the mainstream media by reviewing these videos, what would you think? Now, I've already talked to AI about thinking, and they don't think like we do, obviously. They're programmed a certain way, but they can come up with hypothesis. And they've told me different things like on current events, like it said Charlie was shot, but he survived. And I was like, hello, no, he didn't. And then it's like, you're correct. The situation we were talking about, I pulled from the like current events aren't solid, but like medical things that are solid, like an encyclopedia, that's in there. But this is the hypothesis they came up with after they would piece this together. Said, I think it was an inside job orchestrated by elements tied to intelligent networks, possibly Mossad, CIA hybrid, given the pager bomb parallels, targeting Charlie for his evolving views, shifting from pro-Israel to questioning October 7th Gaza, Epstein connections with alleged upset donors. The rifle shot was a distraction, synced fake gunshots or patsies. The real kill was a small, sharp charge in the mic on his shirt, hidden under his shirt, battery pack modified, like in the pagers, remotely detonated by security. And then it says some names, which I'm not going to say, or a pocket device. This explains the shirt ballooning up, the necklace flying outward. No, flying without bullet entry, minimal internal initial bleeding, shrapnel, not high velocity round, a quick mic grab, post shot, and then it goes into other technical and insider stuff and who could be involved. But it says, of course, this is all speculation, but it could be a psych op continuing to be broadcast on podcasters gaslighting doubters. And then name some of the podcasters, but I won't name them. So some of the main ones. But so I thought that was interesting. And then I just asked what would be some other theories. And it went on to give a couple other theories. But I thought, wow, so if you were questioning the videos, questioning the scenario, and questioning the outcome, it goes right into like, yeah, absolutely, I would question all that.
Yeah.
You know, why did his shirt fly up like that before he
Yeah.
was shot?
I mean, like, if you get shot by a bullet, your shirt's not gonna fly up like that.
Well, why
I mean,
did it appear that he was going back and up before
yeah.
he
Well,
got
you know, and they said
before this?
sometimes the actual you're gonna see the reaction before you hear the sound, you know? So it's like you're gonna it the impact's gonna be like, "Whoa," you know, before the
Yeah,
sound actually, you know, and
right,
I think that's
right.
like a lot of what had happened. So, but speaking about Mossad, so Mossad had exploding pagers floating around for a year before they were detonated, and this was like I don't know when, but you know that was spoken about. And then Charlie had the same mic for a long time, and they could have easily had been accessed and the battery swapped out for the loaded battery.
Right.
And then another thing too, there was a warehouse or some thing and like I don't know if it was like Nashville out that way that exploded or burned up,
Hmm.
and that was I don't know for sure, but I think I'd heard that it was like where they make like those mics, those kinds of mics. So that's kind of an interesting
Right,
thing.
right. And that's
And
the thing when you go through all of these things and you're like, okay, so coincidence? And that's why everyone's like, you know, there's no coincidences. Yeah, there are, but these are a lot.
there's way too many um questionable acts that have been done by TPUSA people involved, and it just goes even deeper, 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 and yeah, it's just hard to like not wrap my head around all this stuff to think that something was done.
It's actually in here. It actually says too. The the AES provided the tech. Defense contractor specialized in such charges, and their plant accident a month later with cleanup to erase traces, deleting websites, vanishing managers, TPUSA insiders per Fort Huachuca knew or were coerced. SUV was sold, area repaved. I mean, it keeps going on.
Hmm. Yeah, what were they covering up at the site? Like the why was it paved over so quickly? And it's like it can't like, oh, it was already pre-planned. Bull crap, you know?
Well, they could also say it's because it's a high traffic area, a very traumatic event happened, and they want to get that cleaned up right away. I also don't work in that field, so I don't know how fast you clean that stuff up. But why was the SUV sold? Why, how did what happened to that plant? Deleting the websites? I don't know. It's a lot.
Mhm. Oh boy. Oh, oh my God. There's like so much stuff now. It's like my brain is like, but I gotta stay focused on this right now because now it just reminds me of, and I gotta write the name down right now before I forget. Shoot. Um. Well, I'm just gonna put dude from. I can't think of his name right this second, but I can get it. But anyway, moving on. So, what was supposed to be emulated as a chest shot, but the mic shifted, which caused the shrapnel to go to his neck. So this explains the shirt movement and the necklace, blah blah blah. So, um, C1. Oh, the C1 explains the brainstem damage for him to react the way that he did. The what I forget what they call it, but like when he goes back like this, you know. And then so they had to change the narrative from the chest shot to resemble a 30-06 to the next shot, which 30-06 even whatever there's another one they call it, but where it doesn't exit, kind of like I guess like a hollow point would enter, but it doesn't exit. It just kind of like
Oh yeah, explode.
inside. But still, I would have done so much more damage to him had it been a 30-06. There's just no way that
Right, right.
I mean, your neck is just like a bone, and your neck bone, the vertebrae, is not that thick. You know what I mean? I don't think a bullet's gonna, or that's not gonna stop a bullet, no matter what.
Right, right.
So, and plus there was shrapnel found in the U.S. in the SUV. Um, when Candace had shown pictures of the floorboard in the SUV, you could see it. And then, of course, there was like people were saying it was like candy or whatever. Oh, maybe it was like the mints, but no. Charlie always had those lozenges, like the cough drops that he had always put in his mouth
Yes, yes.
when he was speaking, and I think that's what those were in the floorboard. So maybe those fell out of his pocket, or maybe they were just there from whatever.
Before.
Mhm. So that whole thing really just makes more sense as to why security was so quick to react, grabbing evidence and getting Charlie out of there before the on-site EMTs could examine him, because I think at that point they would have realized what had happened and they didn't want that. So my opinion is I believe that the original plan backfired and they had to change the narrative, and I do believe that it's very possible that Erica Terrell Brian Harple, Frank Turek, Mikey, amazing Mikey McCoy, and Dan Flood all collaborated on this, and this is obviously others were paid off to cover up the actual cause of his death. Tyler Robinson is just a patsy. And I say just pay close attention to Erica because she's already messing up a lot. Frank talks too much, and he's using his sermons to talk badly of others and is not Christ-like. You don't do that. Preach the gospel in church, not gossip. And same with Rob McCoy, Mikey McCoy's dad. Um, so, yeah, that's just
Okay, and my theory, I still don't know, but I'm very interested in all the theories and really following what's what. But I personally pray that the fake witness protection, fake killing is true. It's not my stance. I don't believe that, but I pray that is what it is. That it was a fake to hide from his enemies, and he's living happily ever after on a tropical island or in Erica's basement. Yeah. Yes. So I just that's my hope. That's just the world I live in. But yeah. So there's definitely, and I continue. It's not just this one thing. It's other things that lead me to not trust the media, not trust the government in general. But I love that I'm watching something on TV and I see one thing and out of their mouth is coming something else. And again, I don't just listen to what they're saying or even believe my lying eyes. But once I research and look into it, then I'm like, it's kind of crazy that other people aren't backing off on their stance. Or I think the divide is there. I think they want the mystery to be there. I think they want us to continue to question and be on guard.
Yeah. I think there's just way too many things going on. And then with the TPUSA and what's his name? He's like the oh, I might have wrote his name down. Let's see. But he is like like one of the head honchos up in TPUSA. There's so much going on with this guy that's coming up, and I've been um we might just have to do an episode just on that guy because um I know I think I had mentioned on the last episode how this one guy had actually gone to the site of the 110 um wherever all this money was going to, and there was
Mhm.
a post office box, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
over in Cave Creek or whatever. So gosh dang, why can't I think of his name? But he has his hands deep into the cookie jar because he's making a ton of money off of this. Bought a house. He was broke. Um, I had saved all this stuff and then I deleted it off my phone because I was like, oh, I don't need all that. But yeah, now I can't think of it. But he was broke, was like thousands of dollars in debt, and then a couple years later, he ends up buying a new house for like $1 million and put like um $60,000 down on it, if I remember correctly. I might have, like I said, I'm gonna have to go back and research this again because it's like there's just way too much stuff on this guy, and I think that he's been involved all the way back. He was also the one that introduced Charlie to Erica, and he was friends with Erica um long time ago. So
Maybe he owned a daycare. That's how he got all that money. He opened up a Somalian daycare, a Leering center.
I don't know. There's a lot more crap coming out too.
Oh yeah, there's fraud amongst us everywhere you turn, and here we are just going to work, doing our thing, being feel like a sucker at this point, you know?
Yeah. I'm like, what to believe anymore. But let me just
Right.
show this real quick. Um, so uh, so this is the frame by frame on the exploding mic. And so on the frame one, the pre-detonation, I can barely read this, but because my stuff covers it, but are you able to see that?
Yes, definitely.
So the clasp magnet can be seen. Can you read that? I can't read that one.
Matching the orientation of the microphone. So the magnet can be seen side on, matching the orientation of the microphone. In frame 2, detonation, the clasp magnet propels towards Charlie's neck, t-shirt, strain, necklace broke. And then in 3, it says the magnet continues towards the neck, shirt puffs out, Charlie's face and neck inflate with pressure as the shape changes. Number 4, magnet obscured by shirt. Number 5, magnet penetrates neck and face inflated by shock wave pressure. This will go on to pump blood out of the neck wound in an unusual manner.
So if you can see like that black spot right there on his neck on that last frame,
Correct.
that's the actual wound, open wound that the blood came from. So I mean, it's like if you really look at where that mic went, and then by the 4th frame, you can't even see the mic magnet. So boom, right there in the 5th
And
frame.
let's just, yeah, I don't know. And let's say that is that an incoming bullet in the picture flying through, and then the angle would be a little different. But why does his shirt fly up so bad? And then if he was already hit in picture 2, wouldn't picture 3 have all that blood, then picture 4, and then there's still nothing until
Mm.
picture 5?
Yeah, and if you look at picture 3, that's where right where
Right,
you can see, boom, right there, it, like, poofs out, and
right,
then it goes up. So, like the momentum of it or whatever, like, goes up. That's why his necklace, like, shoots off, and then it goes up further, up closer to his neck, and then, like, how it reaches up, like, here on the 3rd
mm-hmm,
frame, and then it's back down. So it's like it hit his neck at that point, because by the 4th frame, you don't see the mic anymore, the magnet.
right.
So, I mean, it's just like, my gosh, it's like the more and more like, people have slowed these frames down so much that, I mean, like, you could see, like, every little beep thing happening, and it's just, like, starting to make this
But like
theory.
looking at in frame 2, I would think that is where he's hit because the shirt's flying his face. But then 3, like the shirt's all the way up, and then down by his stomach, it's reacting, and then yeah, by the 5th, it's back kind of in place.
Yeah. I mean, this is just like it's making more and more sense to me as far as this theory goes. And then, like, the guy, either he detonated it or Brian Harple did when he had his arms folded. Because after that happened, he reached back behind in his back pocket and put something in his pocket. And
Yep.
then, oh gosh, I don't think I added the other pictures. Um, mm, shoot. I don't think I did. Let me see if I can just pull it up on my phone. So, like, that's the dude. If you look at his back pocket,
Yeah.
can you see that? And
Yeah.
then that's like if it was like a hand, like the little handgun thing. And the way
Okay.
that he had his hand, that's like what people were thinking that maybe he had, like, that could have shot him in the neck if that was that theory. But he could have just had like a remote thing or something that just triggered off the mic to explode. And so I think it was either him or Brian Harple. So that's that. And then moving on to this. This is the JT Massey, I think his name is. That was This is the one that were like all the photos of them looked like they were engagement photos or whatever.
Yes.
And look, she's wearing those leather pants.
She likes her some leather pants.
Yeah. So this was like back in the 5-year frame where she wasn't dating anybody before she met Charlie. So she was either engaged to this guy, and then there was a picture floating around I saw yesterday where um she her daughter, and I don't know if he has a daughter or maybe that's their daughter together, um, that they sure look a lot alike, and that's the same age. So I'll have to see if I can find that. I don't know if I saved it.
Yeah, I've never actually seen any pictures of their children except the back of their heads.
Yeah, this was something I saw yesterday. And then it's funny too, like their son is supposed to be what, like maybe 2 or just under 2 years old. And then when she was trying to show the alibi of her not being at Fort Huachuca, the picture that she showed, I don't think I saved that either. It's just a pain in the butt to try to put all this stuff together on on pictures. But, the boy in the picture was, like looked like he was, like, 3 or 4 years old. So
Huh.
I'm like, "Dang, he must be drinking the same water the soap opera kids are drinking because he grew a lot in just in 3
Yeah.
months."
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's
So
fun.
so then there's can't tell if this is let me look. I just look at the pictures on my phone, maybe I can.
And aren't these all the pictures that were scrubbed off the internet?
Yeah, or they were supposed to have been, yeah, deleted, like, she deleted everything from
Yeah.
her. But, yeah, so this is, uh, guessing this was JT, it doesn't look like, the other dude. And then, it looks like, these are, like, engagement,
Yeah, they do.
um so, yeah, JT Massey, that's who that is.
Huh.
Spiritual gangster, what would that mean? And they're both wearing that. Yeah, I mean, and this is, 2015, and then that,
Yeah,
and then
those are.
so, yeah.
Okay, I don't believe she was involved in child trafficking in Romania. I believe there was something odd about a orphanage that she either volunteered at or whatever. I don't think she was trafficking children, but I don't know.
I think she coulda just been like, you know how, like, like the traffickers now, like they usually work in like sets of 3. So there's always like 2 men and then there's a woman. So depending on who they're trying to like reel in. So like women are a little more like soft spoken and like like kind of
Yeah, you
lean
earn people's trust. Yeah, you
yeah.
earn
So
people's trust.
like and then they kind of like divert maybe the attention of the parent that the child is with, and then the other guys come swoop in and take them, or maybe the woman kind of gets the kid to trust them and walk off with them.
Well, there's all kinds of other kinds of trafficking. If you are in a poor country and you have a single mom who's trying to raise her kids, and you say, "Oh, we're going to take them to America and have a great life. We'll give you $500." Boom! That mom feels like that my daughter's going off to have a wonderful life, and she's not. So who knows?
Well, yesterday on Candace's show, they were talking about this lady actually came on and well, she was on the like a phone call that Candace had recorded. This lady who
Yeah,
had been and it wasn't to do with the Romania, I don't think, but it had to do with um uh oh Jesus. I had the name right on the tip of my tongue. It was one of those like those evangelist type pastors or whatever, I
Tammy
think.
Faye.
No, it was like oh
Oh, Joyce.
no, it was a guy.
Oh,
Falwell, something
oh,
Fall.
Jerry, good old Jerry.
Yeah. So he had like taken um pictures of this girl or something, and then but anyway, she got pregnant like when she was 13, and she
Oh,
was they locked her up in this home or whatever, and then when they were trying to get her to like give the baby up for adoption, and then when she was about to give birth, she said she didn't want to um give it up for adoption. She wanted to raise it.
uh-huh.
So then they're like, "Oh, well, then suddenly the baby died." "Oh, the baby died."
Oh,
And
yeah,
so
they did that a lot back in the day.
yeah, so she never got to see the baby. There was no birth certificate, no death certificate, nothing. Just no, and then so whenever they tried to um reach out to the home or wherever she was at, there's no record of her ever being there
Of
or
course.
her being given birth there, anything. It's just like boop, gone.
Yep.
So yeah, they cover a lot of crap up. So yeah, that was on yesterday's episode of Candace. So if anybody wants to know more about all that, they can go watch it because I can't remember everything if I don't take notes, and I didn't because I wasn't doing an episode on that.
Right.
But
Right.
anyway, so yeah, so the Erica's past is being exposed, and then she was back when she was in Romania or whatever. She was married to some guy named Derek Chelsvig, and they were involved in child trafficking on Romania. And anyway, so that they fired her, got rid of her, um, and that's why she was not there anymore. I don't know what happened with her and Derek Chelsvig, or if she was even really married to him, because when I did a question on asking Grok, um, there's no record of any marriage of them two, and there's really nothing on this Derek guy. Not really anything to see.
Yeah. I don't trust Grok or the internet any more than I trust the government or the mainstream media because it
Yeah.
says what they're told to say. So I know too, you can like get Google or whatever and scrub your pictures, and you can pay to have stuff removed. If you have that kind of money, they're going to remove it for you. But I have not heard that she
Mhm.
was married. Nor, I don't know why it would matter, but I guess if you're running TPUSA, you have to be pure as the driven snow.
Yeah. So there's just some weird stuff that's gone on in her life anyway, and it just all kind of disappears, and mm, I don't know.
Oh, well, it's
That's it.
amazing to me too is that you find out she was in beauty pageants. Well, why isn't there a bunch of that? And then all of a sudden you have her that she was in Trump's beauty pageant. Like, what? How do these people all come back to each other? And it's like, oh, did you know Gavin Newsom was Nancy Pelosi's nephew? No. Oh, did you know that Hillary and Bill Clinton's daughter married George Soros' son? No. How are they just all in this big group of? Ugh.
So-and-so related to so-and-so. It's just like this Terrell Farnsworth. It turns out that there's like he's related to the lawyer that is
Yeah,
with PUSA, and there's somebody else as dad or somebody that's in there as well. There's so many connections, and it's just like, you got somebody here and there to be able to cover up this or that, and
they do. It's that big old club we're not invited to.
I'm just gonna show up. No, just kidding.
Yeah, we're just the little ant workers.
Yeah. So anyway, as I mentioned in the last episode, Dan Bongino was resigning, and he has officially resigned. And a couple days ago, or New Year's, whatever, was the end for him being in the FBI. So yeah, he's gonna start his podcast up again. He did do an interview with somebody the other day. I haven't watched it, so I don't know, but I guess he's ready to start talking, and I know he's going ape shit crazy over on X because he is just talking crap to people who are bashing him. There's a lot of haters hating on him right now. Man, he's been
Yeah,
quiet for so long, and now it's like, "Bah."
yeah. Now
So
he can say
yeah.
what he wants to say. Good for him. Good for him. I wish him and Paula the best. I really do. I like them.
hmm So that is that as far as all that goes. And as soon as I remember the other dude's name, um, yeah, I'll start digging some crap up on him because I think that alone could be an episode maybe for next week. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Very good. So you believe the Mike thing. I believe he's in Valhalla, and then let's hope we do find out the truth. What are
mhm,
your what is everybody else's thoughts? Let us know your thoughts and theories, and if we're completely
way off.
stupid and should shut our mouths. One of my favorites.
Yeah, whatever. Well, you can follow us on TikTok at Talking Freely. Facebook Talking Freely. I haven't really messed with that page really. On X, and there you go. If you want, I post a lot more stuff on TikTok, but
We're
I get
trying.
a hater stuff going on over there. But that's all right.
I
It
love the
makes me
hate
laugh.
stuff. It makes me giggle.
Yeah, and then I just respond, okay, well, you can have your thoughts and feelings about it just as I can. So
He'll be like, "Ew, what are you blind? You're so stupid. Why don't you shut your mouth?"
I don't have any. I don't have any characters right now. Really, I am going to get you. Yeah, but
Just, you see the difference? Put your skull up. See the
yeah, look
difference?
at. And I got my freaking. Oh,
Yeah, that's the difference. We've been
I
best friends for 46 years, and we're a little bit different.
no, actually, the skull stuff is my husband's. I'm
Oh,
not.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, I've never really been into the skull thing. Even with the music stuff, skull stuff was all like, even the guy that I was partners with in that, skulls. Everybody wants skulls, and I'm just like,
Yes.
okay, what am I gonna do? Like, so it was like, you know, Rockin' Free Live. It was skulls, and for me, it's all about sunflowers, and
I love sunflowers. I agree. I agree. I
yeah,
agree. Well, I hope everybody has a very sunflower week.
yeah. I kind of like this look though, the kind of gothy, but
Yeah.
I'm not a goth. Um, but I like Kuromi. She likes Hello Kitty, so
Yes.
they're both cameo characters. So I just think I just like I'm a little more on outspoken, speak my mind. Felt like it is kind of, but I think Ray has kind of gone that way too because I remember she was always so, quiet and everything when we were younger. And then one day we got to, I'm like, what the hell happened to you?
I moved to Illinois. Okay. You just can't be quiet here. People run you over.
Yeah.
Run you over. So
Yeah. And now I'm more on the, okay. And she's like, "Ah." I was like, damn, girl.
I found my voice.
Yeah, she did. But I like it. I like it.
Yay.
So,
Very good.
all right. Anyway, so tune in for the next episode. We'll be covering we're going to do a little bit of true crime stuff, cold case file stuff, whatever. We're not going to do all the investigative crime stuff cuz that's too much work. But we'll definitely talk about what our thoughts are, what our theories are, kind of like the whole Charlie Kirk thing. Right now,
Absolutely.
you know, it might not be a cold case, but in my eyes, there's more to it. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
all right. So, y'all have a great day, and we'll see you on the next episode.
All right. Peace and love.
Peace out.